So as we know, today is October, and KCSE is around the corner. So KCSE 2023 will be next month, November. And I have prepared, and as one of my topics which I've been having in my school visits and school talks is familiarizing with KCSE questions. So in this video, I'm going to show you all KCSE questions that have been asked in mathematics drawn from Form 1 in the last 5 years. So I'm going to show you questions that have been asked in the past 5 years from 2018 to 2022. So yeah. So the first topic in Form 1 is integers. Integers, the questions that have been asked in 2018, there was a question, number 5, was coming from integers. And as you can see, the question is very easy. It's about LCM. The length of 3 wires is 30 meters, 36 meters, and the other one is 84 meters. Sorry. So this question is pretty easy, and I want to show you the pattern of testing, whether the next year, 2019, there was also a question on integers, and it is 4 marks. Question 2 in paper 1 again. The same year, 2019, there were 2 questions from integers. So again, here is determine the least mass. So again, it is LCM, and the previous question was expressed in prime numbers. So the same year, 2 questions from the same topic, integers. 4 marks, the other one is 3 marks. So that is 7 marks. So the next year, 2020, paper 1, question 1, there was a question that asks, without using mathematical tables or calculator, evaluate. So that one requires board mass. So again, board mass is in the topic of integers. In 2020, sorry, so this was 2020, question 1, and then 2020 again, question 4. So have you seen, in 2019 and 2020, there were 2 questions each from the topic integers. This is to encourage you, don't ignore these easy questions that those students who get almost nothing in maths. Please now look at this. If you only practice on this, you cannot get that, yeah? So in 2021, paper 1, question 2, there was a question again about 2 bells ring at intervals of 35 and 42 minutes respectively. Determine the time when they will ring together. Again, it's about LCM, GCD, everything. So that is 2021, question 2. Last year, in 2022, question 4 was from integers. So it's about the number of laps. Again, this is LCM or GCD and stuff. Now let us look at a summary of that. So this topic, integers, year 2018 there was a question. 2019 there were 2 questions. 2020 there were 2 questions. 2021 a question, and 2022 a question. In 2018 the question was 4 marks. 2019 1 question 4 marks, the other one 3 marks. 2021 1 question 3 marks, the other one 4 marks. 2021 3 marks, 2022 3 marks. So in 2023, are you going to miss a question on integers? You cannot miss that question. So secure yourself 3 marks. Na hii swali ni ya primary pia. Ukapatia mtu wa class 8 mwenye ako good in maths, hawezi anguka. So be encouraged and prepare well. Prepare well on these easy topics before you start thinking about those hard topics about calculus and loci and stuff. Make sure you secure your marks on the easy questions. Now, The next topic is fractions. In fractions, so there was a question in 2018, fractions. It is similar with integers, so it's not very different. So there was a question in 2018, and there was also a question in 2020. So in 2018 there was a question, 2019 there was no question. Have you noted that? Remember, in 2019 there were 2 questions in integers, so maybe they replaced it with that. In 2019 there was no question. In 2020 there were 2 questions on integers, and now there is a question on fractions. Okay? It is 3 marks. 2021, the following year, there was also a question, and lastly, last year, there was also a question about a family used 2/5 of its fractions, and it is very easy fraction. Form 1 mathematics. So what have you noted? It's only 2019, there was no question. So we have a summary of that topic. So every year it has been asked, apart from 2019. And do you want to guess that 2023 there will be a question? Of course there will be. Yes, prepare well on fractions, because 2020 it was there, 2021, 2022, even 2018. That question on fractions has been asked in paper 1. Remember, all these questions are from paper 1. Now, numerical expressions. It's a very good topic again. Again, I put this question just to demonstrate, but now let us look. Between 2018 and 2022, how many questions were using these numerical expressions? In this topic, you have fractions you have mixture of fractions, and they want you to test whether you can be able to multiply, to divide, to subtract without using calculators. And especially the figures you are given have decimals. Now, there was a question in 2019, paper 1, question summary. There was no other question any other year. So, you can guess that it can be asked, or it can be skipped this year. So again, it's an easy question. You can focus on it because it is there. Previously, this question that starts without using mathematical tables or a calculator, evaluate. This question used to come every year, number 1. Every year. Before, if you look at the KCSE papers in 2013, 2012, 2010, they used to come every year. But nowadays they have changed the format of testing. Now they are doing some random questions, such that even if they ask, they won't put it in number 1. Although this one is number 1, you can see, I'll show you some summaries down there, and you see how these questions have changed from coming at the top of the paper to at the middle of the paper and stuff. Now, another important topic is linear equations. In linear equations, in 2018 there was a question, paper 1, question 6. In 2019, paper 1, question 4. 2019 again. So note 2 questions the same year from this topic. 2020 there was a question, question 8. So this is 2020. There was no question in 2021. There was no question in 2022. Look at the summary. Linear equations. But I want also to caution you that linear equation has also been asked last year. Question 19, paper 1, 2022. This was an equation of a straight line, as you can see. Part A2, the coordinates of C. If you draw that triangle, you'll have something like this. To find the coordinates of C, which is MN, it is a point where it's the value of xy, where that equation that satisfy this equation and also satisfy the equation of this line. So this was the way to do it. So you have this equation 1 and equation 2. Then now you rewrite them so that you have x and y aligned, so that you have like 2x plus 3y is equals to negative 4, and then negative x, yes, it's negative x plus 5y is equals to 15. So if you solve that simultaneous equation, you find your values of x and y, which now are the coordinates of point C. So you can see that to solve that, you have to solve simultaneous equation. That is what I wanted to demonstrate. Then we have the topic of rate, ratio, proportions, and percentages. In this topic, in 2018 there was a question, and this question was 10 marks. And I hope you are looking at the summaries. There are also marks that I've indicated there. So 2018, 10 marks question, number 23. So that is section 2. Again, wait. So this was 2018. So 2019 there was no question, but 2020 there was a question, question 17. Again, 10 marks. And then 2021 there was one question, question 10, 3 marks. And 2022 there was a question, paper 1, question 17, again 10 marks. So what have you noted about this topic? This topic, in the last 5 years, it was not asked in 2019 only. So that question has appeared in 2018, 2020, 2021 and 2022. And what more, that this question has appeared in section 2. You can see several questions with 10 marks each. In 2018, question 23, the second last question, because each paper has 24 questions. So question 23, you have a question, 10 marks. 2020, there was 10 marks. 2022, 10 marks. So prepare well in this topic, because it has been asked, especially now in the last 3 years, it has been asked every year. So prepare well, so you can get that question na upate 10 marks vizuri. Haya. Then there is this topic about commercial arithmetic 1. Commercial mambo ya pesa, profit, loss, discounts. So I have categorized this topic into 3. There is discounts, profits and losses. That is part A, as you can see. And then we are going to look at others. So under this topic, there have been no question asked in the last 5 years as an individual question, just testing about profit, loss and discounts. But this question has been mixed with other questions za 10 marks. Unapata imechanganywa na question maybe a form 3 commercial arithmetic 2 inaulizwa then wanachanganya, ama ile a mixtures. They will ask you, somebody bought beans and maize at this price and mixed in this ratio and then sold. Find the percentage profit, you see. So individually it has not been asked in the last 5 years, so don't expect it even this year. But it can come, but prepare well, because I've told you it is not like it is missing. It is there, but imekuwa inachanganywa na other questions. Commercial arithmetic 1, exchange rates B. So part B of this is exchange rates. So somebody comes from Kenya, wants to go to the US or South Africa, wants to exchange their money. So you need to know about exchange rates. Now let us look whether that question has been asked in the last 5 years. So it turns out in 2018, question 15 was 3 marks about exchange rates. Higher. In 2019, question 10, paper 1 again, 3 marks. Higher. 2020, so we have seen in 2018, 2019, now in 2020. Question 12, again 3 marks. Then 2022, again 3 marks. What have you noted? That this question is an examinable area that is always tested. Only 1 year, last year but one. So it was there in 2018, it was there in 2019, it was there in 2020. They skipped in 2021, it came in 2022. What does that one tell you? That it must come this year. They skipped it a year ago, but last year it was there. So this year, please prepare well. Exchange rates, 3 marks, 3 good marks. Wewe prepare too, yani prepare well, ushike your concept, master that concept. Make sure you can get all the 3 marks in that question. Higher. Then lastly, we have a commercial arithmetic 1, commissions. So a salesperson is paid commissions. Such question. That question was asked in 2021. When they skipped the question on exchange rates, they asked about commissions. So just know they have to ask 1 question about commercial arithmetic 1. It must appear as a whole, question yake pekee. Okay? So we have seen that 2021 they didn't ask about exchange rates, but they asked about commission. Now, and there's no other year that commission has been asked. So now again, it goes back to what I've been saying here, that you need to prepare well, that if you don't get the question on exchange rate, it will come on commissions. About profit and losses, mostly it will come, asking a question on profit and losses alone just appears like pasting a question from class 8, because that's where they study about that. But in high school, you are going to mix that question with another concept. Yes, now angles and plane figures. Let us look at this question. In 2020, so we are looking at between 2018 and 2020. So there was no question in 2018 and 2019. But there was a question in 2020 about the sum of interior angles of a regular polygon. Again, the size of 2 interior angles of an irregular polygon in 2021. So you note. So that this question was not there in 2018 and 2019. The question was there in 2020 and 2021. It was not there last year. Tell me, will the question miss this year? It's almost 50-50, but I can tell you it is 90-10%. I want us to predict this question so that next year, or just after KCSE, just next month, that same day, I'm sure we are going to access those papers after the exam. I want us to analyze and see. For me, I bet there will be a question about these plane figures. So please prepare well in this topic. And then we have applied geometry, scale drawing, and bearing. So this is where we tell you to draw a triangle, draw a circle, then other questions about 2 towns are located on a certain bearing. Yeah, so you need to master those questions. You can see in 2018 there was a question about construction or scale drawing. So this was just scale drawing, 4 marks. You can see there's 2 marks and 2 marks, part A and part B. 2018, then 2019, similar question. The next year, a similar question, but this one is about 3 villages, sorry. And then we have applied geometry 2019. So 2019 there were 2 questions. Yes, in that topic. Again, this is construction, now similar to 2018. There was no, then question 2020 there was a question, 3 marks. And then 2020 again. So 2020 there was a question, and 2020 again, question 20. Now part B. The same year they ask part A, you find a question, and part B you find a question. So you cannot escape this question. Okay? So for those who like escaping certain topics, you can say now this one ikikuja at section B sitafanya, but this one lazima itakuja section A. Umeona inakuja question section A, but if you prepare well now it will be an advantage. In 2022 there was also a question. So 2021 there was no question. So let us look at the summary. So in 2018 question 7, 4 marks. 2019 question 7 again, 4 marks. That 2019 there were 2 questions. Not even in section A or B, like separating like in 2020. In 2020 there was question 11 and question 20. So that is section A and section B. But now in 2019, 2 questions, the same section, number 7 and number 12. We have seen those questions. Now we are done with the applied geometry. Look at that summary. In 2022 there was a question. So only 2021, and you can bet that this year there will be a question on applied geometry. Then the last topic in Form 1, common solids. So in 2018 there was this question. You asked to complete this sketch. Question number 4. 2019 there was no question. 2020 there was no question. 2021 there was no question. It came in 2022. Yes. Now you are given about a pyramid and you are asked to draw the vertex. So it is not a must this question comes. But you need to know this question because there is a related topic in Form 4 called 3D. If you know 3D, although the questions in 3D is a little bit different, but if you master those questions, then you should be able to draw a vertex of a vertex or of a solid. Yes. So it's also an easy question that you should not fail. So 2018 and 2022. So I'm not promising you that this topic will be asked in this year. Now, let us look at important statistics about what we have just looked at. Important statistics. Overall summary. In 2018, so in 2018 there were 7 questions drawn from Form 1. Total marks for those questions was 31 marks. So, a paper has how many marks? Paper 1 has 24 questions. Section A has 50 marks, 16 questions. Then 17 to 24, those are 8 questions, where you are supposed to choose only 5. Again, 10-10, which is 50 and 50, that's 100. Then there are 3 questions you leave out. We also need to account for them, okay? So these 3 questions will total up to 130 marks. So out of 130 marks, Form 1 in 2018 contributed to 31 out of 130. So it's a good, especially that these questions come in section A. You can almost say it's around 30%, because let's assume you are going to do it, because it is 30 out of 100. Let's say you are going to choose and do all questions in Form 1 because they are easy. Okay? And just a few questions we have seen, they come in section B. One is rates, and the other one was bearing. Yeah. So in 2019, the next year, there were 8 questions, totaling 26 marks. In 2020, there were 9 questions, totaling 43 marks. Assuming you are going to do Form 1 work, 43%. If you get 43 out of 100, even if you get 26 out of 100, imagine that's not an E in KCSE. That's not an E. I know you have been I know you have had sessions with maybe examiners, your teachers. They have told you how KCSE is graded. That if you have 26, you might have even a C minus or a D plus or something, but not an E, not a D plus, yes, and not a D. Yes, a D can be there or D minus. No, not really D or D plus. So again, if you get 43%, you're almost getting an A. Imagine, just your paper 1, get 43. In 2021, I think 2020 they favored the students because of Corona, but coronavirus and most students were at home. But it is not absurd to ask 9 questions, 43 marks in paper 1. It is still examinable. In 2021, there were only 5 questions, totaling 16 marks. Then in 2022, there were 6 questions, totaling 27 marks. Now, looking at that trend, the average number of questions, you take all those questions, you sum, you divide by those 5 years. The average number of questions that will come in paper 1 from Form 1, there are 7 questions. So expect around 7 questions. They can go up to 9, they can go down up to 5, but expect 7 questions, totaling around 28.6 or 28 or 29 marks. So it can be as low as 16 or as high as 43. Okay? Yes. So I bet in 2021 they lowered it because in 2019 in 2020, most questions were in Form 1. So in 2021, they decided to pull it a little bit down. Now, in 2023, let us project 7 questions totaling 30 marks in Form 1. So please prepare well. Now, we have a summary of each year. So in 2018, as we have said, there was a question on integers, fractions, linear equations, rates, ratio, proportion and percentages, commercial arithmetics 1, exchange rates, and applied geometry, common solids. So, how many questions had appeared in section B? Only 1 question. Rate, ratio, proportion and percentages. 10 marks. Then the next year, 2019, there was also questions on different topics. On integers, there were 2 questions, question 2 and question 8. Linear equations, there was question 4 and question 15. So how many questions had 10 marks? There was no question in section B from Form 1. Hi. So in 2020, the year of COVID-19, there were 2 questions from in section 2 from Form 1. So question 17 and question 20. So question 20 was scale drawing and question 17 was rate, ratio, proportion and percentages. Then there is in the next year, 2021. So again, if you look at this question in 2020, there was a question on 2 questions on integers, and many topics, as you can see. So there are those questions, there are those topics that will not miss, not repeat, because we have demonstrated up there. In 2021. There are 5 questions, remember? So on integers, haiwezi kosa. Fractions, haiwezi kukosa. Rate ratio, it is a must. Then commercial arithmetic 1, instead of asking question about exchange rate, they asked about commissions. So as we have said, there will never miss a question on commercial arithmetic 1. And then angles, plane and figure. Angles and plane figures. So this topic, you have seen it is rare. It has been asked 2 years. But integers, fractions, rate ratio, proportion and percentages, and commercial arithmetic, you can secure yourself here. This is those 4 topics will give you 13 marks. 13 marks, sure bet, 13. Yeah? So then last year, as we have said, integers, fractions, rate ratio, and then commercial arithmetic 1. Those questions will give you at least 13 marks. So in this year, it should have given you, because there is a question with 10 marks, it should have given you that is 20 marks. 20 marks is not an E in KCSE. It's not. Yes, ask your examiners, ask your teachers, they'll tell you. And lastly, now there is this we have 2018 number of questions versus year. Yeah? So I have just put this for easy visualization, and you can see how many questions are asked from Form 1. So in 2018 there were 7 questions, right? And then in 2019 there were 8 questions. Then the next year there were 9 questions. So ilitoka 7, 8 and 9. Okay? Higher. In 2021 it went down again to 5. And then from 5 the next year we have 6. So this year, sorry, from 2021 it was 5, then 6. So this year we are expecting 7. It cannot go below. So it will be 7 or 8. So the last column is on the average. It's the prediction, the average, which is also a prediction. So we expect 7 questions. And good. Then we have marks versus year. So that was questions versus year. So we want to visualize and see how many marks do you get per, how many marks from Form 1 they tested in paper 1 versus year. So in 2018 there was around 31. So around 30, then we have around, that was 31, we have 31, 26, 40, 46, not 46, that is 43. Then we have 16, then we go to, this is 26 or 27, and then the average we calculated and found it was 28 point something, 28.6. We have come to the end of our presentation. So remember, I'm going to provide you with a link where you can download this video. And not really the video, you can download the PDF of these slides so that you can download and use them. But do not print for sale without prior permission from me. That is my number. If you need to talk to me, 0720 990060. That's my email, potentbooks@gmail.com. Now, this channel, this video is uploaded on Potent KCSE Revisions. Tell us how you find this video. Did you learn something? Yeah? Did you learn something from this video? Let us hear your comments, your feedback, and we will be grateful. Please comment down below, like, please subscribe. Yeah? subscribe to this channel. Yes, and it will be very important. Utakuwa umenisaidia to grow the channel so that I can also reach others, and also so that whenever I upload a new video, you'll be notified. And check out for more videos. We are going to provide solutions for every question we have shown here, and even more questions. We are going to upload similar videos for Form 2, Form 3 and Form 4, and provide solutions for each question tested from Form 1 in the last 5 years, Form 2 in the last 5 years, Form 3 the last 5 years, and Form 4 the last 5 years. So please tell us what you think about this video. Tell us what you would like us to improve, and yes. Thank you very much.